Hi guys, it's Antonio here, and first off, I wanted to thank you all for the very positive comments and informational feedback that you guys provided on my first video. And some of you raised some very important questions that I became determined to answer. And in keeping with my three key points that were technology, drivability, and livability, I decided to also talk about craftsmanship and build quality and see if maybe you are getting your money's worth when you're paying for an expensive Hyundai. Speaking of which, today I came to Mike Morgan Hyundai, which is where I purchased my Genesis, and they were kind enough to let me walk around and see what all the cool stuff they have. And walking around, I found something very cool to review today. And that's right, folks, today I will be reviewing the 2016 Hyundai Equus and what will eventually become the 2017 G90. That's right, folks, luxury like this needed its own brand, and it will be called Genesis. And let's see what the direction will be for this vehicle and what we can expect in the future. But first, let's get our hands on this. So now let's get a few specs out of the way. The 2016 Hyundai Equus comes with a single choice of engine, and that is a 5.0 liter V8 that puts out 429 horsepower with 376 pound-feet of torque. However, that horsepower kicks in at a high RPM of 6,000. So basically, you'll never use it, because if you're continuously hauling that hard, then the Equus is not for you. As the sun goes down. Alright, so sitting behind the wheel of the Hyundai Equus, it's an experience in and of itself. It's very soft and very comfortable, and you really do feel like you're driving something that you would never associate with a Hyundai. And like I said, because of this level of luxury and because of the technology that they have put into this vehicle, this is why Hyundai decided to create, again, like I said before, its own luxury brand called the Genesis. Now, like I also said earlier, the Equus was redesigned and now will be called the G90 from the new brand Genesis. But I want to talk about the technology here so you can see what you can expect from a Genesis G90. First off, you have all the safety gadgets included here in the vehicle. You have radar sensing cruise control, you have blind spot assist, and lane keep assist. Now, all these features are also active because it will actively steer the vehicle back in its lane, right? It will let you know when in your blind spot, obviously if there's somebody there in the blind spot where you can't see it. But it also works in a different way, in which say that you don't immediately have a vehicle on your blind spot, but that vehicle, it's rapidly approaching from far away. Well, the radars located on the rear corners of the vehicle are powerful enough to read all the way back and say, you know what, there's a vehicle approaching at a high rate of speed, so we're gonna go ahead and let you know not to switch lanes. All right, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the quality of the LCD screens, both in the infotainment system and the tachometer, speedometer, whatnot. I absolutely love the fact that it is completely an LCD screen and it can be slightly customizable. You have this little wheels here on the steering wheel that you're able to use, so you can go ahead and scroll through the sub menus in the vehicle. So you can also activate your driving assistance systems, like I have done here and whatnot. The quality, it's a little fuzzy. I guess it's not something that you would see in a lot of its competitors, but it is of great quality, don't get me wrong. The map here, it's something that I really like, because unlike the Genesis, it is not a touchscreen system. You have to use this little wheel here to go ahead and move in and out from menus to others. And I like the fact that they involved the ever important back buttons here that I enjoy very much, because I don't have to press the home button to then get to another menu and get all confused and do 300-400 steps before I get to something that I had done previously in the menu here, which is something that I enjoy. Now also something that a lot of people don't think about, and now that I have a Genesis with a touchscreen navigation infotainment system, now I truly appreciate the nub that we have here, and that is because the screen gets so dirty with fingerprints, and I don't have dirty hands or anything like that, but you know, dust and whatnot, and you do have little oils on your fingers, and then that just looks like a freaking crime scene, you know, when you're like looking at the whole thing. And it's just, you know, I miss this. Now this is also available in the Genesis in the upgraded versions, but mine doesn't have it because I didn't upgrade, but it is here in the Equus, and very good, very cool. I like it. The 2016 Hyundai Equus comes packed, loaded with technology. From this very back seat here, I have control to all the infotainment and information and multimedia, air control, air conditioning system, and even the shades in the vehicle from back here. I can even recline my seat here so I can, you know, lay down. Let's put this to the test. Let's see how it works. Oh, I mean, this is truly like a little limousine. It's completely an executive vehicle, and it is designed as such. And so because of that, you have all these available little gadgets just to make the ride a little, actually a lot more comfortable, a lot luxurious. Well, let's see what they have going on here. Okay, so in here they have the you know, like a standard, let me pick this up here, standard cubby hole, I guess that's what it's called, and your 12 volt outlets. And let's see here, and in here you have, like I said, all the control for the vehicles. Like I had said before, you can control the air conditioning, heated and cool seats, recline the seats. You see it says front and back, so you're able to recline the seats up front, so that way the rear passenger has more space. Now, like I said before, I am 6'4". As you can see, I'm 6'4", and I am stretched. Literally, my legs are stretched here, and it's a little bit hard for me to fit basically in the back seat of any vehicle whatsoever, but I am able to do it here with no problem, and that is just perfect. Now, this vehicle is priced here, it's $71,000, right? That's the price that they have it here for. And in order for you to get an S-Class with the technology that this one has back here, you are significantly way above the $100,000 mark. Now, there are some things that feel like maybe it needs a little bit more quality. Like, check this out. It sounds plasticky and not like the good plastic. But then there are other things like the leather covered armrest and the soft touch materials that really do make up for that aspect. So at the end of the day, are you going to say, well, do I want to pay $30,000 more for a Mercedes-Benz just so the door handle doesn't sound plasticky, or am I going to stick with the Equus? Up to you, your choice. Alright, so this is a part of the video where you see me driving and I'm telling you what's good with the car and what's not good with the car. But the thing is that Mike Morgan Hyundai had a pretty huge sell event going on, and I couldn't borrow one of their salesmen so they can go on a ride along with me. So I couldn't drive the vehicle right there and then. However, I have driven the 2016 Hyundai Equus, and the positive things were that the ride was very soft. It was a very compliant ride, and it gave you that road presence. You know, you feel like everybody sees you, and you feel like you can see everybody. The negative things were that you have a drive mode button in the center console, and it gives you the false impression that you can put it on sports mode, but it's not really a sports car. It still has a lot of body roll, and it is very top heavy. The vehicle is not designed to be, you know, sport driven whatsoever, but you know, it can be very torquey on straight line accelerations, even though it's almost 4,500 and some pounds. All right, and last but not least, you remember the beginning of the video how I said that I was also going to be focusing on some concerns that you guys had. Some of the comments that I read was that people were concerned about craftsmanship of the vehicle. There were a lot of like rattling and like squeaking noises, particularly in panoramic sunroof, and also on the door of the Genesis and whatnot. And I started to think that maybe this was also something that translated over to the Hyundai Equus. So I went to the dealer and I asked them questions about it, and their straightforward answer, and it's a very honest answer, and they would be able to know why this is the case, because they don't spend a long time with the vehicle. They don't have it for a prolonged period of time like we the owners do. So they're not able to listen for those rattles and for those squeaking noises and that overall quality feel that you get with the German competitors. And I don't blame them, because when I bought the car, when I bought my Genesis, I never heard any rattling noises or any of that anything in regards to that. I started hearing things about like a month and a half later. But it's still not bad. It doesn't bother me. I know that it's a new redesigned vehicle and they're a brand that it's developing, so I know that it will get better for the future. But to put all of our minds at ease, I decided to contact, let's see here, Hans Kleiman, and he is the product manager for Hyundai Europe. And in short, I asked them, why are we getting what's up with the quality of the vehicle? Why are we getting these noises? Why are we getting the rattling? It's supposed to be competing with the, in a luxury segment, we shouldn't be having these things. And I also asked them about when we can expect to obtain, Android Auto in the vehicles, and also when we can expect to have self-driving capabilities, because Tesla already has literally autopilot, and the 2017 Mercedes-Benz E-Class drives itself in the same fashion that the Tesla does. So when can we expect that? So I went ahead and I emailed him, and I'm waiting on a response back. If you can find information about him and you can reach out to him, go ahead and feel free to go ahead and do that. Maybe you can inform me about a possible answer he gives you. And that's it. Oh, last but not least, I decided not to talk about livability with this vehicle. And here's the thing. You're never going to move your household in that car. You're never going to shove people who buy these cars, they're never going to put a mattress in there. They're never going to be moving lamps and none of that stuff in there. That's a vehicle that you buy basically to be driven in. And that's how it's sold in Korea. It's a chauffeur type of vehicle. So the livability aspect of this vehicle is its technology and how comfortable it is and how luxurious it feels. And driving it, well, I already told you what my experience was with that. So I decided to knock those two out and just focus mainly on the technology that this car had to offer. And well, that's it for my review, and I really hope that you guys like it. Stay tuned for more videos, and if you like this review and you want to see more reviews, go ahead and put the comments in the car in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys.